I was a princess sent to marry for peace, and the emperor told me to choose a husband from among his 3 sons. But suddenly, I heard the inner thoughts of the aloof royal uncle standing nearby. Pick me, hurry up and pick me. What's so good about those 3 brats? I'm older and know how to treat a woman right. I can write poetry, play instruments, swing a broadsword. I'm better looking and healthier than all of them. I stared in surprise at the cold and noble-looking royal uncle. He said calmly, "Princess, choose as you please. My 3 nephews are all fine young men." But the very next second, his inner voice was practically yelling, "Fine, my ass. The eldest has 2 concubines, the second has 10 maidservants warming his bed, and the youngest has back problems and a weak kidney. I'm the only decent choice. Pick me now, or I'll just crash the wedding myself." When I smiled and pointed to the 13th prince, Prince Duan, the entire room fell silent. Except for one voice. She really picked me.
She did.
She actually picked me. Holy crap, the damned plot actually changed. She's mine now. My wife. Mine.
Plot?
What did he mean by plot? And wife? The emperor looked troubled as he turned to his younger brother, Duan. This younger brother, who'd reached this age without ever showing interest in women, had always been a headache. Seeing that Duan said nothing, the emperor stroked his beard and looked at me, gently trying to advise. "Princess Huaqiong, my 13th brother is already 28, and you're still very young. Perhaps you should reconsider." "Your Majesty," Duan rose and said solemnly, "since Princess Huaqiong has made her choice, for the sake of peace between our nations, I am willing to marry her." The emperor. The 3 unfortunate princes. I stared wide-eyed at Duan's stern face, full of righteous dignity. "Ha ha ha ha. Just try to steal her from me, I dare you." I was stunned. Old men are really hard to read. Suddenly, the 3rd prince stepped forward. He seemed a little hurt as he looked at me with deep affection, then turned to the emperor and pleaded, "Father, uncle, Princess Huaqiong's beauty and virtue are renowned far and wide. I have admired her for a long time. Please allow me to marry her." Uncle has never shown interest in women. If he marries the princess but neglects her, wouldn't that hurt relations between our 2 nations? The moment he said this, the emperor's frown deepened. He was caught between his son and his brother. "Admired her, my ass. You shameless villain, pretending to be sincere. You're just trying to use Huaqiong's homeland to seize the throne. Don't listen to his crap, my dear wife. This 6th prince will ruin you. You kidney-deficient clown. Get the hell out of here." I glanced at Duan, a little stunned. I didn't understand all the words, but I caught the gist of it. Could he see the future? "Huaqiong," the 3rd prince said solemnly, "if you agree to marry me, I swear I'll never take a concubine. You'll be the only one." That "Huaqiong" from his lips made my skin crawl. The eldest and 2nd princes stared at him, both clearly shocked and confused. Under his sleeve, Duan's hand clenched tightly into a fist. His eyes were icy cold. "You damn kidney-deficient punk. Talking like some tragic romantic hero. Can't even perform, yet still trying to act noble. Toad trying to chase a swan. Ugly and a player. Who the hell is your Huaqiong? Have you ever even met her? Calling her like you're close? My ass.
Get lost."
Wife. Don't listen to his nonsense. But on the surface, Duan stayed calm. "Your Majesty, I too promise no concubines ever." I was granted my title by the late emperor himself. Compared to my dear nephew, the title of Princess Consort of Prince Duan is a better match for Princess Huaqiong's status, and it better reflects our kingdom's respect for this alliance. The 3rd prince glared at Duan, speechless with frustration. Duan smiled, his eyes tinged with provocation. "Besides," he added lightly, "rumor has it that dear nephew's health isn't so great. Might not be fit for marriage. Better see an imperial physician first." The other 2 princes snickered quietly. The 3rd prince's face turned crimson as he glared at Duan in fury. The emperor chuckled and stepped in to smooth things over. Well, since Hua Qiong has chosen your 13th uncle, let it be. No need to push it, my son. It's a joy to see 13th brother finally getting married. Let's set the wedding for the 15th of next month. You must treat Hua Qiong well. I accept, your majesty. Gu Rongduan cast a glance in my direction. His gaze was deep, his brow touched with a faint smile. But when he saw me looking back, he suddenly looked flustered and avoided my eyes. His long lashes fluttered nervously. I noticed even his ears were turning red. She's looking at me. Oh my God, my wife is so beautiful. I think I pulled it off just now, right? Gotta keep up the cool and domineering prince act. She'll be head over heels soon. Should I look back at her? What if she thinks I don't like her?
She would think that.
If I couldn't hear his thoughts, I'd definitely assume he hated me. I smiled deliberately at him, looking him straight in the eye. Gu Rongduan had nowhere to hide. His face turned even redder. Oh my God, this is too cute. She smiled at me. She totally loves me now. I froze. Okay, I give up. I can't outflirt this maniac.
2.
Before my official wedding with Gu Rongduan, I temporarily stayed in the palace. The Empress was kind and arranged for me to live in Yongla Palace. She even assigned several eunuchs and palace maids to serve me. Among them, my personal maid Zhu was actually someone from Prince Duan's household. According to custom, today I was supposed to pay respects to the Empress Dowager. But just as I reached the entrance, someone blocked my way. A young woman in a light blue dress stood there with her arms crossed, eyeing me up and down with open disdain, like she wanted to kill me with her glare. So, you're the one marrying my cousin? Not much to look at. I thought Princess Hua Qiong was supposed to be stunning. That level of hostility, it was obvious. I could tell this was one of Gu Rongduan's clingy exes. Zhu leaned in and whispered, "This is Princess Pinglo, the Empress Dowager's niece. The Dowager once tried to match her with His Highness, but he rejected her. She's remained unmarried ever since." Ah, that explained everything. I smiled and said, "Princess Pinglo is clearly proud of her looks. From how you carry yourself, I'd assume you've been married for some time now. I wonder what kind of man could possibly be worthy of such beauty." The moment I said that, Princess Pinglo practically exploded. So funny. Who said princesses always have to swallow their pride and act gentle and demure? Girls were raised to live by the women's teachings and the women's rules, but I never cared for them. I'm this gorgeous. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's someone calling me ugly. How dare you speak to me like that? In Sheng, you're not even a real princess. I nodded. Oh, right, you're absolutely correct. But in Sheng, I am Prince Duan's fiancé. So shouldn't a county princess like you be bowing to me? No, bet that pissed you off. Not only can I not stand people insulting my looks, I hold grudges and always aim straight for the sore spot. You bitch. Princess Pinglo lunged to slap me, but Zhu instantly caught her hand midair. Just then I noticed the Empress Dowager's carriage rounding the corner. I let go of Zhu and collapsed dramatically to the ground. Zhu didn't miss a beat. She wailed at the top of her lungs. "Princess, are you alright? Princess Pinglo, how could you hit someone?"
See?
A teammate like that is heaven sent. It's honestly hard to lose with backup like this. Pinglo, what's going on here? The Empress Dowager lifted the curtain and gave Pinglo a harsh glare when she saw the scene. And, to my surprise, Gu Rongduan was also inside the carriage. He immediately got out and helped me to my feet. His hand was warm and strong, and there was the faintest smile on his lips. How dare she bully my wife? Can someone get this brainless side character out of here? Wife, you're a genius. This little stunt was brilliant. You beat the green tea girl at her own game. I was a little confused. How did he know I was faking it? Why is the plot jumping ahead like this? Is the female lead going to show up now?
No.
Don't ruin my marriage to this gorgeous princess. Whoever wants to be the male lead can have it. I'm marrying her no matter what. The Empress Dowager frowned and scolded her. Pinglo, Princess Huaqiong is the most distinguished guest of our nation. How can you behave so poorly? And I didn't hit her, she's framing me. Ping Lu frantically clung to the dowager, trying to defend herself. But I clearly saw you raise your hand, the dowager snapped. What? Did Huaqiong lift your arm for you? Ping Lu was speechless and could only glare at me viciously. You despicable woman. I will never forgive you. Then she turned and stormed off. As she passed me, she slammed her shoulder hard against mine. Gu Rongduan immediately placed a hand on my shoulder and pulled me into his arms. The scent of sandalwood surrounded me. The sudden closeness made my whole face burn. I could barely breathe properly. Apparently, he was just as flustered, because I heard a stream of inner thoughts. Oh God, oh God, oh God, I'm dying. I don't want to let go. I want to stay like this. But the old lady's right here, ugh. I bit my lip to keep from laughing and snuck a glance at Gu Rongduan, only to bump right into his gaze. He recoiled as if electrocuted and instantly let go. She looked at me. She actually looked at me. Did she think I looked super cool just now? Super manly? Did I blow her mind? Not quite. Didn't blow it. Halfway, maybe. The Empress dowager sighed. Ping Lu is a child I've spoiled too much. Huaqiong, don't let her get to you. I'll be sure to discipline her properly. Gu Rongduan spoke coldly. Ping Lu is 4 years older than Huaqiong. It's a bit of a stretch to call her a child, isn't it, mother? Mother's constant indulgence will only harm her in the long run. Huaqiong may not care, but I certainly do. At that, the Empress Dowager's smile stiffened slightly. You're right, Duan. I'll punish Ping Lu. We can't let Princess Huaqiong suffer any injustice in our nation. I adjusted my robes and said a few polite words to smooth things over. Judging from Princess Ping Li's behavior, it was clear how favored she was. No way the Empress Dowager would actually punish her over something so minor. The current emperor and Prince Duan were both sons of the late emperor's favored consort, Lady Murong. The Empress Dowager, however, had been the former empress. It was said she and Lady Murong had never gotten along. Lady Murong passed away early, and the Empress Dowager, having no children of her own, held her high status in name only, with no real blood ties. I figured the Empress Dowager's attempt to match Ping Lu with Prince Duan back then must have had some deeper motive behind it. 3. Inside Shokong Palace. The moment I saw the beautiful woman in the hall, some of my suspicions were confirmed. Duaner, let me introduce you. This is Feng Shiqing, the eldest legitimate daughter of Chancellor Feng. Just like her name suggests, she writes beautiful poetry. Seems like you two are quite the match. Gu Rongduan's expression grew even darker than before. He instinctively tugged at my sleeve. That old woman really brought the female lead here. She's not trying to make me break off the engagement, is she? But I really don't like this flat-chested bean sprout. I glanced down at my own chest, then shot a glare at the ever-so-proper Gu Rongduan. Gu Rongduan. He looked incredibly wronged and gave my sleeve a gentle shake. It's over, she's mad. But I swear, I don't like that bean sprout. She's angry. She must be jealous. That means she's fallen for me. She glared because she cares. This is the power of love. Me. Can someone please take care of this man? I had zero interest in paying attention to the back and forth between the Empress Dowager and Feng Shiqing. The Dowager even pulled out one of Feng Shiqing's latest poems. It was indeed a good poem, elegant and full of talent. A woman this beautiful and cultured, she must be the female lead Gu Rongduan talked about. She truly was remarkable. Then, a girl's voice echoed in my head. I'm so sorry, Brotherly Bai. They forced me to write this poem. I didn't mean to plagiarize. Please don't be mad at me. Wait, why did that voice sound exactly like Feng Shiqing's? Was that poem plagiarized? I looked around. No one else seemed to hear anything. Can you believe this girl also transmigrated? And she actually dared to plagiarize Li Bai's poetry, shameless. That was Gu Rongduan's voice. I listened to their phantom voices arguing inside my head, completely stunned. I could hear her thoughts too. So she and Gu Rongduan were both from some world I didn't know? Duana, what do you think of Shurching's poem? The Empress Dowager asked with a smile. It's fine. The Empress Dowager.
Wow.
The art of the perfunctory reply. You arrogant poser. Who are you trying to impress with that cold act? You think I want to marry you? That gorgeous sister must think I'm a shameless homewrecker, sob sob. She's so pretty, why is she with that insufferable man? I looked at the delicate beauty with such tender eyes and began to wonder if I was imagining things. Is everyone from their world this dramatic inside? Sweetheart, you're pretty too. The Empress Dowager went on. You should talk more with each other. I heard Princess Hua Qiong is talented in dance, but Shurching and Duaner would likely connect better intellectually.
Wow.
That was blunt. So awkward. Talk with him? Please. He wouldn't know a Li Bai poem if it smacked him in the face. Pretty sister knows how to dance. With that figure, her dancing must be amazing. Why can't I watch Pretty Sister dance? I noticed Feng Shurching glance down at her own chest, then shyly shifted her gaze to me. She looked a little embarrassed. Mother, the engagement between Hua Qiong and me was issued by royal decree. If Miss Feng wishes to discuss poetry, there are scholars in the Hamlin Academy far better suited than I. But if it's anything else, then I'm definitely not the right person. Feng Shurching's inner voice chimed in.
Exactly.
That's more like it. Serves you right for having a wife already. What is even happening here? Gu Rongduan suddenly took my hand and bowed to the Empress Dowager. Hua Qiong was startled today. I'll take her back to the palace now. Without waiting for the Dowager's response, he took my hand and led me out of Shokong Palace. 4. Should I take her back to Yongla Palace, or just bring her to Prince Duan's manor? Is she still mad? I think I did pretty well just now. Her hand is so soft and small, I don't want to let go. I chuckled and looked at the stiff figure walking ahead. Then I reached out and gently held his hand in return. Gu Rongduan suddenly froze in place and turned to look at me. What's wrong, Your Highness? I smiled sweetly up at him. His face turned visibly red in a matter of seconds, and there was a hint of surprise in his eyes. And no, nothing at all. Oh God, this is so embarrassing, I'm so nervous. I almost burst out laughing. Then I teased him on purpose. Really? But you seem a little nervous, Your Highness. And no, you must be joking, Princess. My wife is brilliant. I'm so nervous, I want to swing through trees like a monkey and do aerial ballet.
Me.
Gu Rongduan cleared his throat and quickly returned to his usual upright demeanor. Princess was frightened today. Let me take you back to Prince Duan's manor. We should have a physician examine you just in case. Oh, the self-important old man. He knows I was faking it. Where's the fright coming from? I blinked innocently. But Your Highness, doesn't the palace have imperial physicians? Outside the carriage, Zhu apparently overheard and quickly chimed in. Yes. Yongla Palace is close to the Imperial Medical Office. I can just go fetch one. Oh, great. What kind of traitor teammate is this? That's my wife. I'm taking her home. I watched his slightly crestfallen face. I had only meant to tease him a little and was just about to give in when Gu Rongduan spoke again. In that case, I'll accompany the princess back to Yongla Palace. If she's not feeling well, I won't be at ease. I'm a genius. If she won't come with me, then I'll just go with her. Who cares about pride when you've got a wife? All right then. You've got my vote, Prince Duan.
5.
3 imperial physicians checked my pulse, 28 times in total. They couldn't find a single thing wrong. But Gu Rongduan, desperate for an excuse to stick around, was determined to come up with something. Seriously. I could cry. When the 4th physician arrived, I secretly slipped him a silver ingot and gave him a meaningful look. He seemed to get it. He patted his chest with confidence and flashed me a reassuring smile. Then he marched over to Gu Rongduan with a bold swagger, as if he wanted me to cheer for him. Congratulations, Your Highness. Joyous news. Her Highness is pregnant.
Oft.
Gu Rongduan spat his tea everywhere. I flung open the curtain and stared at the physician in disbelief. What nonsense are you talking about? What kind of alternate universe interpretation was that?
Ah,
The physician froze. Did I say something wrong? No, I meant Her Highness is just suffering from shock. I'll prescribe a calming tonic. With some rest, she'll recover soon. Excellent. Very good. Duan nodded, clearly satisfied, and immediately ordered someone to fetch the medicine. Then, using the convenient excuse of it's already late, he had Zhu tidy up a side chamber for himself to stay the night. So thoughtful. He even dismissed the palace staff, saying it would be inappropriate if rumors spread. As if he were the perfect gentleman. Meanwhile, I was stuck drinking some nasty, bitter calming soup. This man is the worst.
6.
That night, I vaguely heard some rustling sounds. My whole body felt like it was burning in a sea of fire. Overwhelming heat gnawed at me, and even my breaths were scorching. A strange, unfamiliar desire began clouding my mind. Something was wrong. That calming soup, it had been drugged. That kind of drug. I forced my eyes open, but the world was spinning. I fumbled at the edge of the bed, and suddenly touched a hand. Hua Qiong, my dear, do you need help? That voice. The third prince? Hua Qiong, I truly love you. Marry me, and you'll be Shang's future empress. Isn't that what you want? Let go. His hand crept toward my collar. I tried to scream, but he clamped his palm over my mouth. With this drug in your system, you really think you can run? It's strong. You won't last long. All your servants have been knocked out. Who exactly are you hoping will save you? It felt like a million ants were biting me all over. I struggled with all my might, but it was useless. The strength difference was too great. I couldn't speak. I couldn't escape. Then my hand brushed against an empty porcelain bowl on the table. Summoning all my strength, I smashed it against the third prince's head. Crash! The bowl shattered, pieces scattering across the bed. Blood dripped from his head. He reached up to cover the wound, and I seized the moment to scream. Help! Somebody help me! Duan. The third prince slapped me hard, then grabbed my mouth again. Ungrateful woman. You really think Duan loves you? He's just using you and your country to seize the throne. Who said that? A familiar voice spoke from behind. The third prince flinched. Just as he turned, Duan kicked him clean off the bed. Tears flooded my eyes. As I watched Duan beat the hell out of him, they fell without stopping. 7. When the third prince was finally dragged away, his face was covered in blood, carried out by eunuchs. Duan covered me with his outer robe. Seeing the broken porcelain on the bed, he carefully lifted me in his arms. I instinctively curled up against his chest. Don't be afraid. I'm here. Outside the hallway, all the original servants of Yongla Palace were collapsed on the ground, drugged unconscious. If the third prince hadn't overlooked the fact that Duan was staying in the side chamber tonight, I probably really would have. Are you all right, my wife? It's my fault for not checking your servants more carefully. That's how he found an opening. He placed me on the bed in the side chamber. But I didn't let go of him. Duan, don't go. The drug, it was overwhelming. He gently wiped the tears from the corners of my eyes. He seemed to realize what kind of drug it was and suddenly looked very flustered. Under the moonlight, I saw the clear lines of his face, and for some reason, I leaned forward and pressed a light kiss to the side of his neck. Cool, and somehow even hotter. The scent of white sandalwood filled the air, but instead of calming me, it made things worse. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I want to know. I can't, but someone save me. What the hell do I do? She's not fully conscious. What if she wakes up tomorrow and hates me? But we're getting married anyway. She is my wife. What's wrong with that? Should I call a physician? But all the physicians are old men. I'm going crazy. You're so noisy. I couldn't take it anymore. How could he still be such a chatterbox at a time like this? We're both willing. So what's the problem? I'm burning up. I don't know where I got the courage, but I hooked my arms around his neck and kissed him full on the lips. My wife, you're so wild. I love it.
8.
The maid who drugged me was sent by the Empress. She really went to great lengths trying to get her son on the throne. I lay on a lounge chair in the garden of Prince Duan's residence, eating grapes and rubbing my sore waist. Men at this age are terrifying. We hadn't even been married for a month, and I hadn't had a single full night's sleep. Back when I agreed to marry for diplomacy, I was genuinely upset, having to leave my homeland and marry a man I didn't know. But a princess is never just a daughter of an ordinary family. She carries the duty to protect her country. Even though I can't lift a broadsword, women through generations have defended their homes in their own ways. I was lucky to have met Duan. He even offered to marry into my family and return with me to Tang State, just so I wouldn't miss home. In this world, most men couldn't accept something like that. But for him, it seemed completely natural. Honestly, I'm so in love. Zhu came over and said, "Your Highness, the Empress has been deposed and is now confined to the cold palace for life." The third prince was ordered by His Majesty to go guard the border. Well, he's still the Emperor's son. That punishment is already quite lenient. Where's the prince?
Shushu sight.
He's in the kitchen making dinner for you. How wonderful. I didn't expect he'd know how to cook. I carried my plate of grapes to the kitchen and saw him with his sleeves rolled up, an apron tied around his slim waist, and shapely hips. What a sight. I loved it. Just as I was about to walk in, a huge flame suddenly burst out of the pot.
Boom.
It exploded.
9.
When Foam Searching arrived, she saw the two of us looking like we'd crawled out of a pile of coal. "Did your home get attacked by assassins?" she asked in disbelief, pointing at us. Duan nodded without a hint of shame. "That's right. Miss Foam, you're very observant." I gave a helpless smile and didn't respond. Who doesn't have an embarrassing husband, right? Why is she here? I'm already married. Why is she still coming to find me? My wife's not going to misunderstand, is she? I've only seen this girl once and never contacted her again. You're overthinking it. There's no misunderstanding at all. Because this girl seems to really dislike you. I heard her thoughts. So, what if he blew up the kitchen? He just went right along with it. Embarrassing fool. Got my gorgeous sister all covered in soot. You really deserve to die.
See? Told you.
Duan stiffened and asked coldly, "What brings Miss Foam here from so far away?" "Hurry up and leave, you annoying bean sprout. I need to cuddle my wife and carry her around." Foam Searching ignored him and turned to me, gently taking my hand. "I came to warn you, sister. Don't attend the Mid-Autumn Palace banquet. Someone is planning to assassinate you to start a war between our nations. If I weren't worried about my beautiful sister getting hurt, I wouldn't be here playing the good guy like some idiot. Sob, I love this sweet little sister. She's gorgeous and kind." "Thank you, sister," I said sincerely. "Wah," she called me sister. "She's amazing." Duan, how did you get to marry someone this incredible? Did you save her life in your past life or something? I suddenly felt a little guilty. "Sister, I'm really not as good as you think." I remembered those mischievous days as a child in the Tang Palace, like that one time I accidentally burned off a boy's hair and felt like I'd tricked my sweet little sister. Duan glanced at our joined hands and immediately stepped in between us, separating us protectively. He asked with suspicion, "Who is it? And how do you know?" Foam Searching clearly didn't have the patience for him. "You figure it out. Who do you think I heard it from?" And with that, she left. Duan looked at me with concern and confusion. Why is Foam Searching holding my wife's hand? This plotline is terrifying. Something's wrong. The third prince already got sent to the border. This wasn't in the original storyline. It seems the story has already begun to change because of us. I said, "It's probably Chancellor Foam. The Empress Dowager just wants to stabilize her family's power. She wouldn't do something that would harm Qing State. With Shang and Tang being close allies, the one who would want to sabotage us the most would be Qi State." Exactly. That made sense. Duan frowned. Then why is Foam Searching helping us? Her father's plot is about to be exposed. She can't walk away clean from that. I thought about her inner voice and didn't know how to explain it to him. That girl, she's actually a good person.
10.
I went to the Mid-Autumn Palace banquet anyway. After that day, I asked Gu Rongduan to assign people to watch Feng Shiqing. Sure enough, that same night, Feng Manor announced that she had taken ill and would not be receiving visitors. If Chancellor Feng truly planned to kill me, he would definitely have people watching Prince Duan's manor night and day. Any movement would alert him. They probably assumed I'd be too scared to leave and would hide in the manor, making it the perfect time to send assassins. At the Mid-Autumn banquet, all the royal family and nobles would be gathered in the palace, meaning nearly all of the military strength would be stationed there. If I had stayed in the manor, that would have been the truly dangerous move. What if Chancellor Feng purposely leaked the news to Shiqing, just so I'd hide in the manor? After all, the manor can't compare to the palace's royal guards. It's harder to escape from the palace, but much easier to kill someone in a less defended place. Gu Rongduan snorted coldly. That wicked woman's definitely working with them. Right.
Great.
Talking to a wall. 11. At the palace banquet, Feng Shiqing was nowhere to be seen. The emperor had had quite a bit to drink. It was mid-autumn, a festival for family reunions, and with the third prince now stationed at the border, he probably wasn't in the best of moods. And then there was the Empress. After so many years of marriage, she was now imprisoned in the cold palace. I tried to keep a low profile, not wanting to be a sore sight and add to the emperor's frustration. Cousin Duan, Princess Pingle, came over, beaming, holding a wine cup in her hand. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Wife, save me. Seeing the look of horror on Gu Rongduan's face, I very kindly stepped in front of him. Princess Pingle's expression immediately turned dark.
Move.
I don't want to see you. I came to talk to Cousin Duan. Whatever you want to say to him, you can say to your sister-in-law too. I replied with a sweet, gentle smile. I have nothing to say to you. She reached out to push me. I instinctively stepped aside, and her wine cup tipped over, spilling all over Gu Rongduan. Cousin, I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. Pingle pulled out a handkerchief, trying to wipe him off, but Gu Rongduan immediately stepped back. No need, cousin. Men and women should keep their distance. My wife is standing right here. Pingle's eyes started to well up with tears, shimmering faintly. I took the handkerchief from her and began dabbing at Gu Rongduan's robe, but it didn't help much. Cousin, you should go change. You still have to present your tribute later, Pingle said. Gu Rongduan glanced at her, then leaned down and whispered by my ear, I don't want to leave you here alone. Then I'll go with you, I said. The next second, Gu Rongduan clung to me like a shameless plaster. The princess invites me. I couldn't be more honored. Ugh, what a hopeless man.
12.
Tonight, the wind had a bit of a chill. The banquet was being held at Yuatai, with the nearest building being the Chonghua Hall, besides Shokong Palace. This used to be my mother, Lady Morong's residence. After she passed, it's been left unused, Gu Rongduan said after changing clothes. I looked around. It was a bit desolate now, but traces of its former splendor still remained. Suddenly, there was a muffled thud from the wardrobe behind us. Gu Rongduan immediately pulled me behind him, drawing a dagger from his sleeve and turning warily toward the cabinet. With a loud bang, the wardrobe burst open. A petite figure tumbled out. Shiqing? I rushed forward to help her up. There was a faint bruise on her temple, and she was wearing a maid's uniform. Behind the open wardrobe, there was clearly a hidden tunnel. Hurry, protect the emperor. Prince Duan's residence was set on fire. Qi State's army and Chancellor Feng are launching a coup tonight. They've probably surrounded Yuatai by now. They tied me up in a cellar, but I accidentally found the secret tunnel and escaped. I frowned. Why would a secret passage from Chancellor Feng's residence connect all the way to Chonghua Hall? Feng Shiqing hesitated, glanced at Gu Rongduan, then said, Lady Morong's death might be linked to the Empress Dowager and the Feng family. Gu Rongduan's hand tightened around the dagger. He closed his eyes for a moment. You suspected it, didn't you? I held his hand. Yes. Back then, Lady Morong's death had indeed been suspicious. If Gu Rongduan didn't know, it meant this event hadn't existed in the original story at all. Feng Shiqing continued. Pingle is actually the illegitimate daughter of the Empress Dowager and Chancellor Feng. He used that to threaten the Empress Dowager into helping him. I overheard all of it while pretending to be unconscious. Then it hit me. Earlier, Pingle splashed wine on you on purpose. She was trying to save you. Otherwise, we'd likely be trapped at Yuwatai right now, surrounded by the Fengs and Qi state soldiers. She protected the man she loved in her own way. Even if that man didn't love her back. Even if we were just characters in a story, who among us wasn't made of flesh and blood? Half the Imperial Guards belong to the Feng faction. The rest won't be enough to hold them off. I pulled the jade fish-shaped command token from my waist and handed it to Gu Rongduan. The Tang state troops that escorted me are still camped outside the city. This is the princess's military seal. Go find General Zhao, he'll listen to you. But you, don't speak yet. Outside, dark figures holding torches had already surrounded Chonghua Hall. Search every inch. If you find Princess Huaqiong, kill her on sight. They must have figured out I wasn't burned in the fire at Prince Duan's residence. Gu Rongduan whispered, to provoke conflict between Shang and Tang. They won't let you live. Come with me. If you take me with you, we'll never make it out. We'll both die. Feng Shiqing quickly came up with a plan. It's simple. Prince Duan, go to the outskirts and bring the Tang army. I'll take the princess back through the tunnel. Don't worry, I'm skilled enough to handle it. There aren't many people at the Feng residence right now. Even if we get caught, they won't kill us immediately. Chancellor Feng still needs the princess alive to negotiate with Qi state. As long as you lead the Tang troops and the loyal Imperial Guards to encircle and defeat them, we'll be safe. It was the only way. Gu Rongduan was still a bit wary of Feng Shiqing, but the soldiers were already closing in. There was no more time to think. All right, I'm entrusting Huaqiong to you. Please take care of her. With that, he pushed us into the wardrobe and shut the door behind us, locking it. In the darkness of the tunnel, we could faintly hear the sounds of fighting outside. My heart was in my throat. Gu Rongduan, you better come back alive. 13. The secret passage from Chonghua Hall led all the way to the underground cellar of the Feng residence. We hid down there for quite a while, but heard no sounds from above. Seems like no one's around, Feng Shiqing said. She went to open the cellar door, but suddenly realized it wouldn't budge. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? She yanked again. This time we heard the clink of a locking mechanism. We're locked in, but at least for now it's safe. I comforted her. The Feng family probably feared she'd escape, never expecting she'd discover a hidden tunnel on her own. With things even more dangerous back at Chonghua Hall, hiding here for the time being was actually the safest choice. But then, the last flickering flame of the candle slowly faded out with time. It was a darkness I had never experienced before. Cold and damp air seeped through my entire body. I glanced at Feng Shiqing's thin clothing and took off my outer robe to drape it over her shoulders. Her sparkling eyes glowed even more brightly in the tight, dark space. Woo-woo. Sister is so kind. I'm really touched. All right, I'm not as nice as you think. Don't get too emotional, I said, rubbing her cheeks. It was quite warm. Feng Shiqing stared at me, stunned into silence. You?
Yep.
I can hear your inner voice. She froze, clearly replaying all her past thoughts in her head, and curled into a ball, groaning. Ugh, I'm too ashamed to live. Okay, this place is dark and creepy anyway. Why don't you tell me more about your world? Our world. At the mention, Feng Shiqing suddenly lifted her head, like she had a lot to say. From her descriptions, I began to picture a strange, magical world. One that people here couldn't even imagine. So, he came from a place like that too. She paused, then suddenly gasped once she realized who I meant. Wait, sister, you mean Gu Rongduan is also from that world? I thought for a moment. According to him, it's not time travel, it's transmigration into a book. Everything here is a fictional world. What? Feng Shiqing looked devastated. I finally crossed into another world, and it turns out I landed in a novel. Does that mean I'm a cannon fodder side character? Otherwise, why would I end up with a villain for a dad? No, you're the female lead. I think me being with Gu Rongduan caused the original plotline to shift. After I said that, I thought she'd be mad. After all, I'd probably messed up her destiny. I felt a little guilty. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Feng Shiqing grabbed my hand excitedly. I don't want to marry that arrogant jerk anyway. Don't worry, sister. I've never liked that guy. He's not even close to being good enough for you. Whether it's a book or the real world, we'll live how we want to live. Her words made me laugh. She was right. Everyone is the protagonist of their own story. Before we knew it, we talked for a long time. And somehow, the darkness didn't seem so scary anymore. 14. When I next opened my eyes, the earth felt like it was shaking beneath me. I was tied up, hands and feet bound, inside a moving carriage. How did I get here? Where was Shiqing? You're awake. Beside me sat an elderly woman with a headscarf. Her voice was oddly familiar. What's wrong? Can't recognize me like this? I blinked and stared. It really was the Empress Dowager. Dressed like a peasant woman, I almost didn't recognize her. Where's Feng Shiqing? She let out a cold snort. That disloyal brat? Naturally, I left her to her father. Then, the Empress Dowager gave a deep, mocking laugh. Though, her father's probably already in the Ministry of Justice's prison. If that girl really helped save the emperor, she might even be granted a title, maybe even made a princess. But my poor Pingle, she was born noble, yet I can't even publicly acknowledge her. Not even a princess title. I said nothing. Chancellor Feng had been arrested. The Empress Dowager was on the run. That meant Gu Rongduan had succeeded.
Good.
Thank goodness. Hua Qiong, don't blame me. You just had to marry Gu Rongduan. Now that you're in my hands, neither Tang nor that man will dare move against me. You're quite the lucky charm. I blinked slowly, staying silent. Fine. As long as I don't die, for now. 15. I didn't know how long we'd been traveling before the carriage suddenly stopped. Outside, soldiers led by Gu Rongduan had surrounded us tightly. Thank goodness. This sister is finally getting rescued. The Empress Dowager pressed a dagger against my neck, clearly on the edge of losing control. Gu Rongduan, if you don't want her dead, you'd better clear the way. Gu Rongduan seemed to have taken quite a few injuries himself. The moment he saw me, his eyes filled with undisguised worry. I shook my head at him, signaling that I was okay. Maybe the distance was too far. Right now, I couldn't hear his thoughts. Mother, Gu Rongduan said with a slight smirk, glancing toward another carriage. Do you really think sending Pingle to Qi State would keep her safe? My men intercepted the carriage. Would you like to see your daughter? Don't you dare lay a hand on Pingle. Gu Rongduan pressed his sword against Pingle's neck and brought her over, slowly approaching us. Don't move, stay where you are, the Empress Dowager warned, highly alert. Gu Rongduan asked, What now? You're abandoning even your own daughter? Let Hua Qiong go, and we can still talk. At those words, the Empress Dowager suddenly laughed. I killed Lady Morong. Gu Rongduan, do you honestly think you'd let me live? Don't kid yourself. Of course I would, he said. Pingle saved both Hua Qiong and me. That's a debt I have to repay. I was a little surprised. I'd never thought my man was this magnanimous. Sorry, your daughter-in-law is in that old witch's hands. Let me save her first, and I swear I'll avenge you. After that, I'll give you a whole pile of grandkids to keep you company, okay? Please don't be mad at me. Me.
Well.
What a devoted son. Gu Rongduan called out. Let's exchange hostages. I'll let you leave Sheng State safely. As long as you never return to Sheng or Tang, I won't pursue this further. The Empress Dowager hesitated. She looked at Pingle and began to cry. Pingle, it's your mother who's failed you. Once, her daughter could have lived a peaceful, happy life. Even if she escaped to Qi State, she'd be living under someone else's roof for the rest of her days. That wasn't a life.
No.
That wasn't right. Gu Rongduan, promise me. Let Pingle return to her fief and continue as a princess. Keep her safe for the rest of her life. I'll pay for your mother's life with mine. But Pingle, she's innocent. Pingle suddenly shook her head frantically. No, mother. I don't want to be a princess. I don't want. Pingle, listen to your mother. You shouldn't have to follow me into this mess. Go home. Live well. This was all our sin. It has nothing to do with you. Gu Rongduan, do you promise? I was never going to involve Pingle in this, he replied. The Empress Dowager gave a tearful smile. Good. That's good. Then, without warning, she drove the dagger into her own chest. Mother! Pingle rushed forward, sobbing, her face full of disbelief. A parent's love always plans far ahead for their child. Perhaps this is what that truly means. But it was mid-autumn, a day meant for reunion.
16.
Chancellor Foam was convicted of treason. Everyone involved in the case was sentenced to execution after the autumn trials. Foam Shirqing, for her service in saving the emperor, was honored by imperial decree. From that day on, women would be allowed to attend school and take the civil service exam. 3 years later, Tang and Sheng joined forces and destroyed Qi state. The Qi kingdom fell. 17. Father-in-law, mother-in-law, please accept this bow from your humble son-in-law. My father and mother stared in disbelief at their son-in-law, who was kneeling before them with a bright grin, and hurriedly pulled him up. Prince Duan, that's much too formal. So how long are you and Xiong planning to stay this time? My father asked. I'll need to write back to your brother, after all. Gu Rongduan grinned and said, Father-in-law, we're not going back. What? My parents looked at him in shock. I sat to the side, gently rocking the tiny, wailing bundle in my arms. I patted it lightly and said, Father, mother, my husband says he's staying here, as a live-in son-in-law.
Ah.
And then, as if on cue, the little dumpling in my arms burst into laughter. Maybe I was seeing things, but I could have sworn that chubby hand gave us a thumbs up. This child seems a little special. Extra, from Gu Rongduan's perspective. 1. I don't even know why I transmigrated into a book. Annoying.
2.
Father and mother sent me to live in Tang for a while. The two states agreed. Once the Tang princess came of age, she'd be sent to Shang for a political marriage. What did that have to do with me?
3.
I hated school. Couldn't stand all the Confucian gibberish. Even more annoying. 4. Behind the school, there was a garden. I made it my personal escape zone. One day, while napping in a tree, a little girl ran over and threw a beehive on me.
Ah.
What kind of devil child? Half my face swelled up from bee stings. The little girl beside me was laughing her head off. If she hadn't been so tiny, I would have given her a good thrashing. Whose kid are you? With behavior like that, you'll never get married.
Blah.
She stuck her tongue out at me and ran off. From that day on, every time I skipped class and went to that garden, I'd run into this little demon. She even burned my hair once. That girl was absolutely never getting married. I'd bet my life on it.
5.
Later, I asked my in-laws who that palace brat was. They wouldn't tell me. Said they didn't know. Maybe she was some official's daughter. But now, watching the woman by the window playing with our child, the breeze brushing through her hair, golden sunlight softening her features like a divine glow. Beautiful. Devastatingly beautiful. My wife is an angel. The end.